Support for this episode comes from Modern Football Technology. Modern Football Technology provides real-time opponent tendencies and self-scout while eliminating manual data entry into Huddle, DV Sport, and Exos. If you're tired of tools that are time-consuming to learn and perform inconsistently at best, then we recommend Modern Football for a fresh perspective. Schedule a demo today at teammofo.com to see a battle-tested tool that's proven to perform and deliver value. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code CC10 to receive 10% off your first year. And listen to our recent episode featuring Folsom High School defensive coordinator Jordan Ersick to learn more about how the 2023 California State Champion uses modern football to dominate their opponents.
This is Jordan Hogan, wide receivers coach for Colgate University.
Loren Johnson, head football coach, Highland Springs High School, Highland Springs, Virginia. Well, we are the 5-time state champion and the number one team in the state of Virginia. You're listening to the Coach and Coordinator Podcast.
I'm really big into this, making sure the guys are talking. So it'll be a one-on-one rep, right? So like I may pull 7 to 10 clips of the 20 one-on-one reps we've done, and I'll go around the room and the guys don't know who I'm going to call on. I'll just say like, "Hey Trey, coach up Johnny here on what he did right and what he did wrong." And now so you can carbon copy that, with 7-on-7 and with teaming. And on top of that, it gets the room more comfortable talking football with one another.
When we start camp, we immediately are excited about getting our starters ready for that week 1 kickoff that is right around the corner. Certainly, that is the main objective. We want our team ready to win. However, we are also playing the long game as coaches. We have most of our guys falling into that developmental category, especially the youngest players in our program. Today we hear from 2 coaches on how they are sure to keep those young guys motivated by building activities around them and allowing our older guys to be a part of the development. We hear from Loren Johnson, the head coach of Highland Springs High School in Virginia. Coach Johnson has led Highland Springs to 110 wins and 5 state championships in the last 9 seasons, including winning the 2022 state championship. Jordan Hogan, the receivers coach at Colgate, also joins us. Prior to Colgate, Coach Hogan served 2 years in the Arizona Cardinals program in the Bill Bidwill Coaching Fellowship. He's made stops at Cornell, Stonehill College, and Buffalo State. What you see on tape is a direct reflection of what you teach and how you teach. Video is important, but if you don't teach well, you're not going to like what you see on your video. First Down Playbook has been helping coaches teach better for 13 years. It allows you to present installs, playbooks, and practice cards in half the time with NFL quality. Coaching tools like video pairing, a player app, practice schedules, and wristband sheets have made First Down Playbook a program management system with everything in one place. If you're in a position of leadership with your football program, receive a free 1-week look at First Down Playbook. Call them at 512-814-6158 or visit them on their website or social media. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code COACH24 to receive a $100 discount off the normal $700 First Down Playbook team membership price. Links and the phone number are in the show notes. First up is Coach Johnson. He discusses how they create both fun and opportunity for the younger players in the program and how it allows the older players to be a part of the development as well.
Keith, I think the number one thing that we do that is really, really fun and it brings a lot of excitement to the program and a lot of excitement out of all of the young people that are associated. We take the guys that are lower on the depth chart and we actually have a full-blown scrimmage with them and we give them the opportunity to showcase their talent. It allows kids to cheer other guys on that may not have been in the regular scrimmages. But what we do is we have our first scrimmage, and then we try to get as many guys reps as possible. But sometimes those reps are limited. And then we come back and we do our second scrimmage, and then we take a week off before we play our first game. And during that period of the time, or somewhere in between those 2 scrimmages, we just try our best, man, to get everybody who was low on the depth chart, our younger guys, our JV team, our 9th graders, our 10th graders, guys who are in their first year playing. We try to get them a quick scrimmage, and it's not necessarily full blown out tackle to the ground, but it just gives those guys an opportunity to mesh, find out what's going on, and play, quote unquote, with their age group. It really comes out to be an exciting day. It's fun. We do a coin toss. We bring them to the middle of the field. We play music in the warm-ups, and it becomes really a great activity that we participate in each summer.
Now, what are your top guys doing, your varsity starters? What do you have them do during that scrimmage?
Well, we usually do that scrimmage at the end of practice, so we've already practiced at that point in time, but we got guys doing all of the things that coaches would do. You know, they're running the chains, or they're spotting the ball, you know, they're calling flags, or they're just being cheerleaders on the sideline for some of the young guys that don't get an opportunity.
So that has to be one for those guys who haven't gotten the opportunity, exciting for them. So I could see how that gets them out of the slump. But when those other guys, I think, get to step back a little bit from it and not have that pressure to perform, and they're out there just having fun, as you said, being part of the game, that serves them well.
It does, Keith. And I probably another big point, the guys get to see it from a different perspective. Like you just mentioned, they get the opportunity to step back. But when they get to see it from a different perspective, you know, we're talking about the coach's perspective, right? They can see a play developing. They can see what plays need to be called. You know, they stand behind, they watch. They're coaching the younger guys up, you know, if they're standing by their position. So it gives the older guys in the program a sense of accountability, and it also gives them an opportunity to teach and lead the way for the next group that's coming through.
It's an opportunity to see how well they know it, too, because when you look at learning, I think one of the best ways to be able to learn something is to be able to teach it to somebody else, right? That you can take it now, whether it's in your coach's words or in your way of doing it, apply that as a teacher, and that gives these guys that opportunity.
Yes, it does. You're absolutely correct in saying that. And again, it is an exciting moment. So we have to reel them back in. Sometimes guys are on the football field, they're jumping around. It's not a traditional game, but we, again, give them an opportunity to just have as much fun as possible and kind of breaks up the monotony a little bit during the summer camp.
As coaches, we know that some of the biggest hurdles to our team's success can come from off the field. Your team needs support to tackle the endless list of expenses, uniforms, training equipment, travel, and more. But raising that money can feel like a full-time job. Thankfully, there's Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform using innovative technology to create the easiest and most efficient system available. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with your team every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser. With options for online donations, digital discount cards, premium product sales, and even spirit shops, Vertical Raise has top-of-the-line solutions for every fundraising style. To find out more, visit verticalraise.com and we'll get you connected with an exclusive offer on your first fundraiser. Coach Hogan closes things out today by discussing communication and how helping his older players communicate and give feedback, both in meetings and on the field, provides a role model for the younger players. He lets them mentor and teach the younger players and gets the older players better at communicating, which benefits the whole team on game day.
In my room, it's a very open environment. I have a saying that I'm going to beat you up, not beat you down, because I want my guys to be able to talk, whether it's about football, whether it's about life, whether it's about problems they're having. We have the term up the hill, which is academic, so I want my guys to feel comfortable talking to me, on matters outside of the football field. So one way where I'm able to get the guys to talk is just basically I'll have the room actually go around and kind of grade each other, whether it's a one-on-one rep, maybe it's a 7-on-7, or whether it's a team. That way, for typically, in college, we have 45 to an hour, position meetings. If I'm talking for literally 45 minutes, I've already lost the guys probably after 15 to 20 minutes. So I think it's really important to get, obviously to have other voices in the room, whether you have a GA or you have an assistant, just so it just breaks up the same tone. They're hearing it from a different voice. They're hearing it in a different tone. So I'm really big into just making sure the guys are talking. So it'll be a one-on-one rep, right? So I may pull 7 to 10 clips of the 20 one-on-one reps we've done, and I'll go around the room and the guys don't know who I'm going to call on. I'll just say hey, Trey, coach up Johnny here on what he did right and what he did wrong. And now so you can carbon copy that, with 7-on-7 and with team. And on top of that, it gets the room obviously more able or more comfortable talking football with one another. Obviously, come game day, Saturday nights or Saturday afternoons, And when you're coming off the field, I want the guys to be able to obviously talk football to me, or we need to be able to talk about things they saw on the field, things that they're anticipating seeing, and things like that. So that's one way that I'm able to encourage or to get guys to open up to me, and more important, to the room.
I think that's a great strategy to get them communicating about football. For them, as they start to do it in the room, I think you see it start moving out onto the field, where those guys then become more open and talking to each other about, what they saw somebody else do on a play and coaching each other up. How do you make sure that happens, that you are helping them transition that out onto the field so that communication is happening out there?
I guess it's really important that I'm being very transparent. When I am coaching these guys, and I'm being very clear and precise to them. Usually, I'll usually call on the seniors and the seniors and the juniors, or the upperclassmen, or I call them the vets. I'll call them the vets first, because obviously those guys are probably a little more boisterous than the young pups in my room. So like they'll kind of know how to kind of just what I'm looking for. I don't need a whole dissertation. I don't need a whole 30-minute talk or speech, but it's hitting on a couple of points. So I just think it's really important to have these guys conversing with one another, because sometimes you're going to have young guys that talk, and they're going to obviously be a little bit nervous. So that's one of the ways that I'll try to at least get the whole room just to feel comfortable about talking towards one another too, because you get freshmen. Sometimes freshmen aren't great public speakers, whether they're talking in rooms. So, I have 11 receivers. 11 receivers is probably not a lot. So hopefully if you're going to be able to talk in front of, hopefully your brothers, hopefully that will be good for you, moving forward. So that once we get on the football field Saturday afternoons, you're going to feel comfortable talking to the offensive coordinator, maybe going over to the head coach, and maybe giving him an idea, or giving an idea to me, and so on and so forth.
Be sure to follow all we're doing throughout the season with shorter episodes and ideas in every episode from multiple coaches. Check out our show notes for related episodes from our guests and resources that they've produced. And follow all we're doing at coachandcoordinator.com.